Hey, so we had this press conference with Trump, and everybody seems to have their opinion on what's going on with it, but of course I'm going to have something totally different, and I think what I got's what's legit, so. Hey, what is up everybody? How are you guys doing? Thank you for checking out this video. Any support for the channel is awesome, as always. And yes, the press conference with Trump. Now, it wasn't really geared to go this way, but I hear a lot of people talking about it. Obviously, I mean, I watched it live. I watched it in its entirety. I have a tendency to gravitate towards doing that instead of looking at highlights and stuff like that that are opinionated and whatnot. So I watched it. I wanted to make a video directly after watching that because boom, my mind was freaking blown. Nothing of it is what anybody is talking about, which is really, really surprising in the SHTF prepper community. I mean, wow, dropping the ball. So people are really talking about what's going to happen out of this and what kind of deal is going to be made and whatever. Meanwhile, everybody missed the main star of the show, star of the speech, even though he had a tendency to, I think 4 times in one response, he said, well, the war wouldn't have started if I was in office, you know, if I would have been in office, we would have never had a war and all that, which I am so sick and tired of hearing about. He's literally got to come up with some sort of new phrase or something about that because, I don't know, he said it hundreds and hundreds of times. We get it, Mr. Trump. The thing that got me is, I forget the question. It was in his Q&A after his speech. Yes, his whole speech was about DC and all that kind of stuff, which, as far as that goes, to me it's a little bit imperialistic, and maybe that's the wrong type of word to put with it, but he's just taking over shit. He wants to, he can do this. He can take over DC, he can put in martial law, he can do all this stuff, but it's not really looking that good. As far as the cities, everybody's saying he's pushing to change the cities and go clean up cities and take over Chicago and take over New Orleans and take over LA and all this stuff. No, he specifically said he was not doing that, and it is going to specifically be up to the state itself if they want to follow the footprints of what Trump is doing. He is not going to do it. He said he is not going to do it, and he just hopes other people take on the same idea that he had as far as cleaning up the city. All of the media is saying that he wants this, and he doesn't want this. He doesn't want this. Well, he might want it, but he's not saying he's going to do it, I should say. So all the media is wrong on that. I encourage you heavily to go watch the whole speech in its entirety. It is out there currently. Watch it. It's about an hour and 45 minutes long, probably with all the press BS and stuff beforehand, pre-game show. But the important thing, the most important thing that was said, possibly in the history of the United States of America, was said with the speech, and nobody's talking about it. Somebody asked a question regarding the war and things going on, and then it gravitated towards the meeting with Putin on Friday. Obviously, it's a hot subject. That's what everybody wants to talk about. Nobody really cares about DC. I think people have already forgotten about the whole DC thing. Unless like some protests really flare up and stuff like that, it's a done deal, forgotten about. This meeting with Putin said a few things. And I don't know if it was over one question. I think one reporter, journalist, posed a question that he went off on for a while, and it was included in that, I believe. Don't quote me, don't care, doesn't matter. The point is that he said it. They were talking about how this meeting's going to go, and he's like, well, and this is a conclusion of my consensus of what this whole 5-minute spiel is about. we're going to go in, we're going to have this meeting. Putin is going to be there. It's going to be in the U.S. I am going to know within 2 minutes whether we are making a deal or not. And somebody asked, how are you going to know that? He's like, I'm a deal maker, you know. But yeah, he is probably going to be able to figure that out. It doesn't take a whole lot of brain power to get the mood of how something's going, especially when it's on the scale. So he said, yes, it's going to be great if we can make a deal. We have a ceasefire. We're going to give some land to Russia. We're going to give some land to Ukraine. Everybody's going to be happy because I am God and whatever I say goes. Well, wrong, Mr. Trump. But he did say something. He started going down a path that almost seemed a little uncontrollable, but I'm going to go back and watch it after this just to straighten out for myself maybe a couple corrections. This is all verbatim. But he started talking about war more and more. And he said, well, we're going to go in and we're going to reach a deal. It's going to be a great deal. Or we are not going to reach a deal. And he was basically saying, how can I get this out? He was basically saying that we're going to reach a deal, or he is going to stand up at the table, tell Mr. Putin good luck, turn around and walk out. Also in this, he mentioned the Third World War. He didn't say World War III. He said a Third World War twice, I believe in the same response. So he came out, he was saying, we are looking at World War III, everybody. I'm going to go in here, I'm going to talk to Putin. If we can work something out, that would be great. We can calm things down for a little while. If we don't work anything out, well, I wish you luck at World War III, Mr. Putin. I mean, with what everybody is talking about in the media, that is by far the most important thing. And another thing on that, Zelensky wasn't invited. I think the question was, why isn't Zelensky going to be at this meeting? But regardless. People are talking about how this deal is going to be made. It's a 0% chance from the start. Zelensky said they are nowhere near coming to an agreement on what Trump wants. It's going to be giving up a lot of the beachfront. It's going to be giving up a lot of land. Putin wants a lot more, but he might be happy with taking everything that they got and calming things down in a ceasefire manner for a while. Zelensky ain't having it. Zelensky ain't having it. Zelensky is right now planning a very big offense into Russia. Russia is lining up their troops along the whole Russian border, from what I understand, not just in Ukraine, but they're building up troops. Zelensky is 100% all in on the war. Putin is 100% all in on the war. Everybody's saying Zelensky ain't going to do anything. They're not going to budge at all with this negotiation that Trump is trying to do. Putin is a long shot whether you can get him on board. If all this stuff is true, we're entering World War III possibly this weekend. And it's really disturbing that nobody is seeing what Trump said. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's got to be subtle things, but the words are the words. And he said he doesn't care about words, but he also said he cares a lot about words. And so I think he's just trying to justify being a senile old man now, because he said the same thing 3 times in a row, I believe. So he's losing his mind a little bit, just like Biden. I knew that long before he got elected. There was going to be a downward decline for Trump while he's in office, but don't even care about that, because World War III is here, folks. Go back and watch the interview. Don't even watch all the shit about DC. I'm sure you know about everything that's going on. He's cleaning up the city. He's making the Capitol great again. He's putting on a false front for anybody that's looking at America. They look at DC first. DC is a good first impression. That's a good thing. He flat out said that's what it is. If he used the analogy of his father's story about coming up to a restaurant and it's got a dirty window, don't go in. I'm sure you heard that. Yes, so he is saying that our country is complete crap. It looks like crap and crime is really high, but if we make DC nice and beautiful, that's going to change everybody's mind. Every world leader that comes through the country, they're going to see this big, beautiful, shiny District of Columbia without seeing the rest of the problems to make us look better than we are. That is a sign of weakness. I think Trump is a little bit worried about this. I think him coming off the handle, him blowing up, him dropping F-bombs and cussing, and I thought it was all for show, but he might actually be under a tremendous amount of stress right now, all focusing around World War III. He walked into it, he said he was going to stop everything, and I called it out. I said, no, he's going to get into office and find out what's going on and adjust things little by little according to what needs done, which is exactly what he did. He is not stopping the war. He does not have the slightest chance of stopping the war. Azerbaijan and Armenia, I don't know anything about that. I didn't even know they were at war. I didn't know they were at war for the last 35 years, but congratulations. That deal was 100% Azerbaijan and basically nothing to Armenia. They got a construction project out of it or something. You know, if you look at the details on what that is, it was completely favoring Azerbaijan. Which is funny because Israel's not friends with Azerbaijan, and it's this whole dramatic soap opera of Real Housewives of the world right now. So, anyway, my main focus is, well, World War III is most likely coming. Pay very close attention to what goes on, and we're not going to know until it's long done. We're not going to know until Putin is on his way back to Russia, flying back, which is only, 40 miles or something. But I'm sure he's going back to St. Petersburg or Moscow or whatever, so he's got a long flight. He's going to bug out quick, and at some point we're going to get a scripted, polarized version of what happened. It's going to be whatever the people that were in that room are allowed to say. Just about everything is going to be confidential, top secret, whatever. It's very sensitive information. It's a very important subject. And Trump is flat out saying this is a meeting over World War III, the Third World War. So yeah, this is disturbingly deep with me. He also came out, which is kind of interesting, saying that Russia's badass. Russia knocked out Hitler. Russia won World War II. Russia took out Napoleon. They know how to fight. They know how to win. Yeah, we're going up against them. That's not the best thing to say right before we get into a heated conflict with Russia and possibly World War III. Most likely World War III. And just on that note, yes, the elephant in the room is nuclear Armageddon, assured destruction for everybody if we go to war with Russia. Not necessarily. Putin has proved his patience over the last 4 years or whatever. He really has. Whether you like the guy or not, he's proved his patience. He has held his tongue. He has not said things. He has not attacked things. Russia could annihilate and wipe Ukraine off the map fairly quick without nukes. They're not doing it. So they're trying to be reasonably civil about the manner. Trump is not. I mean, Trump is not he's not a civil person. He's a radical, emotional person. That lately he's been wearing his emotions on his sleeve. So dealing with two very different people here, but most likely it is going to be World War III. If there is a deal made on Friday, I am going to be very surprised and very happy because it's going to prolong the inevitable just a little bit longer. But pay attention to this meeting. Pay attention to what I'm saying here. Is a deal going to be made? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by El Kidio, the old Bonnie. Pay attention to what is going to be told to the media to be told to you, because it's going to be very polarized, it's going to be very biased. And try to look through it and find out what's going on. I personally think we are taking a huge step towards nukes, towards cyber attacks, EMPs, terrorist attacks, and SHTF in general. As we get into a heated war with one of these other superpowers, it's probably going to happen sooner than later. But I really encourage you, don't listen to the freaking media. They're not telling you what's going on. They're not telling you what that press conference was. It's very easy. I know. I do videos. I shoot photography. I know how to edit. I know how to get micro expressions. I know how to make things seem completely different than they are. I know how to make a happy parking lot, a picture of a happy parking lot, look like The Walking Dead. I can easily do that. It's not really too hard. It takes practice, but on the level of global media, the editors, they got it down. And they do that very, very heavily, as left and right. You see that division, that's what the division is. It's selective editing for certain things, which is going to definitely happen with this meeting. So don't necessarily listen to it. Listen to the mood of it. Listen to the couple big things. Was their deal met? How long did it last? Did they cut it early? Did Putin rush out of there? Pay attention to those things. The psychology of what happened, that maybe they're not going to be completely editing out of what CNN and Fox News want to tell us. So, is there going to be video? I don't know. Is it in a palace? I don't know. Is it hanging out in a teepee with the Eskimos? I don't know. Nobody really knows. I know we have military bases up there. I know we have secure areas up there that this meeting could take place in. It could be in a bunker. I don't know. There is also a pretty high chance that Putin can back out of it. Now, if Putin backs out of it, that's an instant no deal. So what's going to happen at that point? I don't know. Trump's not going to get his day. So that could be another scenario that's going to stretch this out a little bit longer, without Putin saying for sure no deal. Just by not showing up says no deal, but it doesn't at the same time. So we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Honestly, we're not going to get any media on it Friday. We're not going to know anything Friday. Sure, I saw another video out there saying that we can have some stuff blow up during that time. No point intended. No pun intended. But militaries are going to be kind of tense. Governments are going to be kind of tense. And we're going to be at that Cuban Missile Crisis thing for just a short amount of time. Is anything going to happen there? It never does. Could it? Yeah. That is not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about these two leaders of the world getting up and leaving the room. What are their mindsets at that point? What are they thinking about when they pass the threshold of that door frame? What's going through their minds? That's what I'm worried about. I don't care about the other stuff. I really don't. So I encourage you. Look past the fluff. Look past the bullshit. Watch the whole dang interview. I was going to say interview, but press conference. Watch it all. Watch the questions. Mostly. Skip past the DC stuff. Watch the questions. Watch his responses and listen to that. Might blow your mind. Because nobody's talking about it. No media is talking about it. No prepper channels are talking about it. World War III is right at the doorstep at the moment, and this meeting up in Alaska Friday is going to determine which direction we go. So, all right. Well, I do appreciate you guys watching this. Hopefully I can get some more videos up, but I will leave it with that. And until next time, I'll talk to you then. Peace. Hopefully I'll have a video before Friday. Peace.